Good morning, Smite fans. Welcome to week 4 of the Challenger Cup. Sponsored by hi-rez Studios, Owlhead Studio, Discord, presented by Tier Monster. I am a Pip. With me today is Souza. Souza, I'm so happy to be able to take the mic with you today, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic here, especially since this is the final week of open brackets for EU, and well, we get to find out this week if Forsaken are still immortal.
Forsaken has been holding on to a commanding lead so far this tournament. We are looking to see if they can go ahead and lock up the, I guess, it's not a hat trick. It would be, I don't know, a quad trick or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to call it at this point here. I think they've gone all but undefeated. They've dropped a game or two in the finals, I believe, but if they can pull it off here, it's going to be very, very impressive and very intimidating, as I think they've already locked in the first place slot here, but the real story is going to be in these lower parts of the bracket here. There's a lot on the line looking down at these lower ranked teams in the top 8 here, as they really want to struggle to get into that top 8 now.
Absolutely. That's going to have to be the story of the day, is to see what happens, to see if any of these lower tier teams that are entering this open bracket in the final week can make that jump. And one of the best things about this is that they do definitely have that chance.
In this game especially here, this is Loopy Landers facing off against Teleport at 6 here. Both teams are filling the 8 and 9 slot right now, both sitting at 25 points here. Whoever wins this game steals that spot away. If Loopy Landers take the win, they've secured the top 8, they're going to be fine, unless one of the, bunch of gankers picks it up, or maybe one of the teams that just aren't at that top 10 pick up a good series of wins, and Loopy Landers go out right after this, or Teleport at 6 go out right after this. This is going to secure the spot for them by pulling off a win here. And this is why this match is one of the more important ones going into today.
Absolutely, and being able to come through these early rounds, this round one time, is going to be phenomenal in terms of being able to set up something deeper into the tournament. But I think that we have our picks and bans ready. If we can go ahead and go right into that.
We do here, as now things are kicking off the action here, as we will see Teleport at 6 facing off against the Loopy Landers, and well, it's gonna be a bit odd here, as I think we're gonna see Susano and Rat Band out for sure.
That is not surprising, I think, to anybody. Both of those gods have been talked about a good bit in the community, in the forums, and the Reddit, as well as making strong showings just in general so far in the games.
There's a very, very good reason for that. Of course, Susano, he's got that mobility. We've seen him come out in the few times he's gotten through. He's done a number on enemy teams that he plays up against here. Rat, of course, just now being available for competitive play this week for Challengers Cup, so gonna be a bit of a lesser-known factor, but I think we've all been devastated by him in our ranked games. Devastated by him in the few casual games that we might see him in. Well, more so in the few ranked games we'd see him in, and either way, it hurts, and it's gonna make you just be reeling in pain to see him. Of course, Raijin also coming out as a ban here.
The Raijin ban isn't all that surprising. He's an extremely potent mid pickup, does a lot of burst damage while also maintaining a good bit of control and containing that mobility that makes Susano and Ratatoskr so deadly in a mid lane mage. So we don't want to deal with that either.
Yeah, and then last but not least, the Ao Kuang as the final ban up for the first round of ban. Once again, just getting rid of those mobile, bursty assassins who can shut you down in an instant. No surprise to see him taking to the picture here. That's going to be a nice little change of pace, and that extra bit of safety for Loopy Landers if they want to go for maybe something a bit less mobile in the mid lane.
And I'm personally a big fan of both Ra and Janus, so I kind of have both of the extremes of mobility in my mid lane pickups. Oh, Nemesis is going to be a first pick over here by Loopy Landers, an aggressive Nemesis pickup over here.
We've seen some uses for her, though. As some of the tanks start to come back into the meta here, you've got a good reason for Nem to show up, but you absolutely need a good team to back you up as Nemesis here. She's going to get harassed in the jungle. She's going to struggle through that, and if Loopy Landers don't have some kind of response, Teleport at 6 try to pull something early on, and with this Cabrakan pick, they just might do that.
Cabrakan Bellona?
Get fat. Alright, yeah, it's definitely going to hell in a handbasket fast if Loopy Landers don't go with the plan.
We picked two pretty tanky characters again into the Nemesis pickup. That's telling me that they aren't scared about that.
Yeah, but here's the big problem. These are two tanky pickups that can absolutely destroy her early on. So they've got a solution to deal with Nemesis here, and Loopy Landers, Despite the one getting the pick, everybody's like, oh yeah, don't pick a tank and a Nemesis. They're the ones who kind of have to figure out the trick here.
Absolutely, and we see Hu Yi and Guan Yu picked up. The Guan Yu will be a good bit of help there with the Nemesis. If anytime that they team up together, they can at least stop some of the damage output onto the Nemesis through heals.
And we've seen it several times before in almost every level of play. Guan Yu is a team fight winner. The healing makes almost any team fight against him sustained, and it lets him play these pick off, back out, sustain, pick off, go in, back out. It lets Loopy Landers play those kinds of team fights really easily, and Loopy Landers are actually building quite nice there in the strategy they have drafted here.
Yes, I really like it, and we see an Anhur coming out over here. Anhur's been one of my favorite hunters for the entire lifetime of Smite. He's one of those who keeps coming in and out of the meta, and I'm always happy to see Anhur.
And he's got enough of those tricks of the trade that he's going to be fine no matter what he does. He's got some mobility in the form of his leap. The disperse is going to save lives. He's also got the knockback on it, the knock-up. He's got the more situational stun in the form of a wall stun or a pillar stun if he has that available to him. But still, the slow from the pillar is going to be very beneficial. And all around, he's got a very good kit that just makes him an all-around solid pick no matter what situation you're going into.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, we see Athena coming down as a ban.
I wouldn't want to deal with an Athena taunt into any of these things, into the Nemesis, into anything. It's just too much control. We see the Odin ban right back. You don't want to control people positioning. You don't want to have the Odin circle into an Eagles rally or anything like that. I think they're reading this Bellona pickup as perhaps for this Bellona Cabrakan pickup, I should say, as a solo jungle squad in one configuration or the other, and they don't want to add Odin to that.
That would definitely be a good guess there. Also, as I mentioned earlier, Loopy Landers are playing a composition that really wants people to get in, get out, and not be corralled into a team fight versus teleport at 6. So a great targeted out ban there to play into their style. And at the same time, Bacchus, the ban away from teleport at 6 here, trying to stall out some aggression and prevent them from getting that full-on pick strategy.
And I like that. We've seen the jump in, the belly flop, intoxicate combo be used to great effect in all levels of play, to be honest with you. It's just a potent combo, and when you combine it with Nemesis stripping 50% of protections at level 5, that's almost a completely dead character as soon as ults come online. Sobek's going to be picked out. Again, positioning. We don't want people to be able to get plucked out of position and then capitalized on with the burst that can come out of a Cabrakan and a Bellona very quickly.
And so far, this is just kind of looking like very solid drafting from both sides, all. But we're coming down to the final rounds of picks here. We have one pickup here, and this is going to be a Soul coming down for teleport at 6, and a little bit of safe poke damage. So they're going to have ways to deal with Loopy Landers if they want to play the long game here.
Safe poke damage as well as good tower aggression coming out from the Anhur Soul pickup. That's gonna make them a very potent threat when they start wandering as 3s. Anytime those two end up in a lane together, it's actually going to be quite dangerous for Loopy Landers.
Not to mention the last teleport at 6 to set up some really good sieges at towers here. They can start to aggress on Loopy Landers without overexposing themselves, and Loopy Landers will have to make a very difficult call, and unless they can get a good flank on teleport at 6, if teleport at 6 stay even and can find a way to start sieging under towers, Loopy Landers are going to be in for a really difficult time, but they've got good ways around the side now. They picked up a Janus and Ymir here.
Being able to get that global off of the Janus means that rotations are going to be Loopy Landers' strong suit here. They're going to be able to make it from any point on the map to any other point on the map very quickly. And with the recent buff to Ymir, now his opponents are going to be dealing 10% less damage whenever they're affected by Frostbite. That's going to be pretty big, I think, over in the duo lane.
It's going to be very huge for trades coming out here. And Cabrakan, the last lock-in there for teleport at 6, likely the support here is they wanted her to shut down any trade potential coming out of Loopy Land. That's my guess for the Cabrakan pick here. They know Mir is going to heavily swing these trades, so why even have them in the first place?
Right, exactly.
So why even deal with them? Just go ahead and pick out the one god that locks everything down at Kumbhakarna.
Knock them up in the air, wait a couple seconds, and then we're going to be able to go right back into it. But speaking of waiting a few seconds, we are going to take a couple seconds in between picks and bans in the game. Let's get everything set up, and we will be back with you in just a couple minutes.
And we are live with Game 1 of Week 4 of the European Challengers Cup, brought to you by Tier Monster and hi-rez Studios. I am Soza, joined here today by Epip, as the introductions were already made earlier on. Epip, we've got a game here, and this is a very, very important one for these two teams.
This is an extremely important one. They're both fighting for their life to get into the group phase of the tournament that starts next week. So a lot's riding on this, a lot's riding on the line for both of these teams, and they both want to come out with a win.
Especially since they're actually the 8th and 9th ranked team currently in the points. So this is huge for whoever wins here. As the one that loses, it's game over. Dream's dead. No more. You got to wait till next split. And that's going to be the big, difficult task to overcome here. Do they get affected by that mentality, or do they hold strong, treat it like any other game? Which one's going to be in more favor for them is the real question we have to ask.
And looking at the teams, trying to figure out which one's going to be in favor in terms of the picks and bans coming through. I mean, we got essentially a traditional Smite lineup over here on the Loopy Landers team with the Guan Nemesis pickup over here. And then we've got a little bit more of I don't want to say janky, but a little bit more experimental team composition over here from Teleported 6.
It's kind of weird. You've got that Cabrakan in the jungle here. He's going to be able to get out there and start tracking people out with his ultimate come level 5, and he's going to be able to lay down a lot, I mean a deceptively high amount of hurt from the beginning of the game. So Loopy Landers going to have to watch out for that. Additionally, he can do a really, really good job of locking Nem down in his first few moments of the game in mid lane. So Teleport at 6 have a lot of nice ways of getting in here, but if Loopy Landers survive this point, Teleport at 6 are going to have a really rough time going into these team fights.
We got pretty standard starts coming out from both teams. Both mid laners have the red buff, made their way over the mid. Blue Camp going to be taken a little bit faster by Teleported 6, thanks in part to Get Fisher's Wrath. Wrath is, of course, going to let him make that rotation over to the mid camps a good bit faster than Nemesis, who has decided to stick around in the lane and put pressure on New Philosophy.
And one thing I want to point out here, Deathwalker is currently with Ice Baby here in the solo lane, and now they actually might clash here. No, they're going to back off here. They're just going to go ahead and get these fire elementals, but that's going to be support sitting off with his... No, that's going to be a Ymir just wandering around right now in the solo lane.
I think this might be a Ymir solo.
It is. That is a Guan Yu over as a support, a very, very aggressive support at that, with a Bluestone Pendant, but that's how it's looking right now.
And, the people watching at home may have noticed I actually flubbed the camera pickup because I expected that to be a Guan Yu solo lane. And so I went over expecting to be in the solo lane, and magically we were in the duo lane. So I apologize for that on the camera.
I thought we had some weird support rotation to the solo lane. I mean, it's happened before. We've experienced that in some of our casual queue games, I guess. The support randomly shows up in their solo lane, and you're like, what are you doing here? And I expected, they're trying some weird strategy out, and unfortunately, fortunately for them, it's just a mere solo, and actually, he's doing a nice bit of hurt on his opponent right now.
He is. New Philosophy is being pushed back. That's that early Guardian damage, along with being affected by the Frostbite. I guess Deathwalker said, hey, with the changes to Mark of the Vanguard and the changes to Ymir's passive, let's go ahead and give this a shot. Why not? I feel confident. I think I can make this work, and he's showing it.
Yeah, looking at it more and looking at his performance with it, it's actually really good. How do you want to deal with somebody early on the solo? You want to start trying to out-trade them, start putting your pressure down, and get control of the lane here. Who's almost impossible to get control of a lane versus 1v1? Especially with the change, like you said. Ymir. You can't hurt him, you can't out-sustain him, you can't out-trade him. All you can do is hope to clear a lane, and he's going to do that incredibly well as well.
Plus, unlike Guan Yu, Ymir actually can stop bludgeon damage from coming through by throwing up a freeze. And that takes out a good bit of the damage that New Philosophy is going to be able to put out in the solo lane. By being able to effectively neutralize that, it's going to put Ymir in a pretty good position in this lane.
Not to mention, he's going to scale it to be that massive bulwark of a tank incredibly quickly. He's going to have access to so much more income here. And Guan Yu still going to provide that extra healing he needs, still going to provide that team fight support here. All in all, Loopy Landers looking really solid with that pickup here. Get Fisher will just put a little bit of pressure on the mid lane here, but Wolfie going to have his backup. He's going to be fine and dandy in this lane.
Throwing back over to the solo lane, we do see a rotation coming out from Ice Baby over into the solo lane. Just going to pick up a wave and be able to make the rotation back to the blue. You see that Wifey has already started up the speed buff for Ice Baby. They're already ready to get that second cycle of the buffs. I actually really like the Guan Yu being in the support because it's coming down to kind of a 3v3 mid meta, and having the Guan Yu freed up from that solo position means that he can throw heals out in these early team fights.
Especially with how important these early moments of the game are going to be for Loopy Landers here. So, Teleport at 6 really just haven't been able to get that aggression they really need to get against this Nemesis right now. They've always got backup here. We also see Sullivan being shoved in for them, so there's not really that much they can do to pressure Ice Baby right now here. And Wolfie, he's at the point where he's going to deal so much damage his way, so he doesn't have to worry here. And Kala is being free to rotate. It's just going to make it all that easier for him to not feel any of the pressure that Teleport at 6 might want to try to put out right now.
I noticed that Kalas actually picked up not only Bluestone Pendant as his starting relic, but also picked up Meditation as his starting relic. The starting item is going to give him a little bit of a boost in damage, and then that Meditation is going to help him even more than his heal, just be able to continue to out-sustain his opponents.
And it's going to mean that there's almost no bad trade right now. It's going to let him play for these early skirmishes here. It also might let them try something sneaky here, but I don't quite think Ice Baby and Kalas had the necessary damage right now. And Teleport at 6, clearing out that mid wave would have rotated a little bit of time. Maybe rotated in time, didn't notice they were backing. So a good safe call from Loopy Landers to not go for that. Just put some vision down and start getting ready for that early goal, possibly.
We are seeing both of these teams kind of not willing to take an extended fight. They're willing to put some poke and trade, but they don't want to see the fight. We do see Vote and BK over here kind of keeping an eye on Josh XE through the jungle. Good vision over there in the duo lane. He's got to be aware that Feels Hokeman is there as the ping starts coming out. He does see the support starting to rotate back over.
Yeah, it's been called. He knows it's right there. Vote and BK is just going to start dropping a few shots. Let him waste his time for a while, and then knowing that he's there, he's going to just go ahead and let Hoke is just going to walk right into the fight. So, Vote and BK, playing it safe. They're going to do what they can to freeze the wave, but this is
hang
all
on just a second. We do have a three-person rotation over the duo.
Cal is finding his way through a quick match right into the Anhur pillar. A bit missed time, but Hoek should be able to find his way to this one. Get Fisher showing up, looking for the stun, but he will find the massive wall. Wolfie locked down. Wolfie in the ground and pound, tossed back into his own wall there as Hoek going to toss into the air. And Wolf still skating around. He goes to see him and slides to the wall with the portal. There was a soul still waiting, but he missed the important shot, and now Hoek's on the wrong side of this one. Pillar in the wrong spot of this one. Voden BK able to twist around and start training in a few shots. Unfortunately, massive lag fight goes out for us, but no first blood comes through in the massive that.
First blood end up coming out. Double kill on the part of Loopy Landers is going to get responded, and Voden BK and Kalas are both going to fall as well just a few seconds later. Lots of ultimates used. Deathwalker, however, has made the rotation. New Philosophy in the middle of that Ymir ult, not going to find it, and Ice Baby gets credited with the kill onto New Philosophy.
It looks like I was sent back in time, so as it was going on, I was watching it kind of go through in fast motion right there. So it looks like my spectator's having a few issues right now.
1 second, we're going to get that sorted out for you. You should be good about now.
Yeah, it's back to normal speed now. So for some reason, like right when that fight got intense, right when first blood should have happened, boom, sent back in time. I think I got hit by a Chronos ulti.
You know how those rewinds. You know how those rewinds work. But we got it sorted out. 3-2 read the kills. Loopy Landers getting just slightly the better of that fight. They did get the first blood as well as second blood. But Teleported 6 showed that they were not going to take that laying down, able to return with 2 kills, and then an unsuccessful getaway from New Philosophy locked up the rest of that team fight.
But at the end of the day, the big thing is Loopy Landers still hold a lead, a growing lead at that here. Now at about 600, 700 gold right now, and the XP lead is starting to look up to about 1.7 thousand. The XP lead will be the main factor we want to look at for this early stage of the game here. As gold differences, unless something's going horribly wrong, they're not going to be the big deal. What will matter right now are those early level advantages, those early XP advantages here, and I want to watch that graph closely as we move through the rest of the game.
Absolutely, and one of the things I want to mention about that last fight was that was Loopy Landers' fight. They were able to not only orchestrate that exactly how they wanted, but Deathwalker may have noticed, made it to that fight by walking across the map, whereas New Philosophy had to teleport in. New Philosophy used the teleport in that fight, was slower to get back to lane because he fell, and then Deathwalker still had the teleport up so that when he backed a second ago to get the first 2 tiers of Emerald Pendant, he was able to make that rotation back to the lane very quickly by using his teleport.
And that is going to be a nice factor here for him in this lane right now. But we'll see Teleport to 6 try and start getting some vision. They think something might be up around the gold tier here, and using a little bit of time to check it out here, they're going to start getting things warded out, but I think that's no. They don't have a ward to clear them out. They know the ward is there, and I think Loopy Landers will move back in to clear that ward out before too long.
And honestly, knowing that the ward is there is almost as good as having a sentry to clear it out. We know where that ward placement is. Eagles Rally being forced over there as the Shards of Ice come out from Deathwalker in the solo lane. Not much damage coming out onto New Philosophy there, just a little bit of poke from the Ymir, but it does force both ultimates over there in the solo lane.
And the worst part is for Teleport at 6 is he doesn't really even... The worst part here for New Philosophy here is that he doesn't really need to do any kind of damage here. His opponent is just going to start slowly whittling him down, trying to take away these major cooldowns, trying to pressure him out, and he's going to look to use those to the best of his advantage here. It's now Deathwalker bringing in a few reinforcements here. Ice Baby is going to get spotted here, and New Philosophy knowing to play it safe here. So, all in all, I got to say, good credit to New Philosophy there, knowing he'll still scale up to be a big tank. So, not going to worry about losing a wave or two.
I think New Philosophy has adopted the new philosophy of sitting back and not trying to get the kill onto the Ymir, and instead just farming the lane safely and realizing that he can come in late game when the Guardian damage starts falling off and he is more of that tanky presence, and the Bellona is going to be able to come online and be a little bit more of a traditional frontline support for the team.
And provided he doesn't end up losing out or giving too much to Ymir, he's going to be fine. The big issue is that now Loopy Landers do have a bit of an advantage here for pressing some of that solo pressure if they want to. As Deathwalker, he's starting to make some early rotations here, whereas New Philosophy had to stay back, clear out a wave, and wait. So that's going to lead to Teleport at 6 losing a few of these mid-camp fights.
They're going to lose a little bit of these mid-camp fights, and I don't know exactly where they're going to find the experience to make it up. Over in the duo lane, it's pretty even. Solo lane, as you said, we've got all the pressure coming out from Deathwalker over there on the right-hand side, and Loopy Landers are just dominating the mid-Harpy fight as well.
They're dominating it quite nicely here, and that has a lot to do with the fact that they've got free pressure on most sides of the map right now. I mean, Solo, we've talked about it already. Deathwalker is able to rotate whenever he feels the need to. Didn't have to blow his teleport in an earlier fight. Doesn't have to use it at all right now, as he's just forcing the Bellona back so hard. At the same time, Loopy Landers, the duo lane, not doing too shabby either, as Teleport at 6 are very hard pressed to trade against Kala's and Vote in BK right now. So Kalas has almost free reign to go wherever he wants, knowing that Vote in BK will be safe in his lane. And then combine that with just the mid lane fight pressure, and the fact that Ice Baby is able to single people out for these kills. Teleport at 6 have a lot to be afraid of right now, and Loopy Landers have a lot of ways to deliver that fear to them.
That three man grouping in the mid lane from Teleporting 6, they're roaming around and they're looking for picks in the jungle, but Loopy Landers isn't falling for the bait. They're not going to fall for an easy straggler to fall their way off and get easy pick off for the Soul, Cabrakan, Kumbha grouping. We do have a fight breaking out in the solo lane as Ice Baby kind of proves me wrong by being alone for a second, but is going to be safe.
DP as well. Kalas now making his way to the fight. Gets a two-man stun right there. That's through to the time. Tags onto 2 right there. Dealing massive damage and allowing Deathwalker to finish off Getfisher. The stun also did the work here. Kalas in deep. Gonna get bursted out by Banan. As now out goes Voting BK. He's juking around as best he can, but the Eagles route from above will rain in a quick kill as well. Now still even here, but Teleport at 6 taking away the good end of this fight here. Deathwalker trying to run for dear life. Knows he's got nowhere to run. And feels Hoek going to pick up the kill here. Teleport at 6, winning a massive fight, 3 for 1, despite getting a little bit caught out in the grand scheme of things.
Winning a massive fight, but also going to win a Gold Fury completely and totally for free, realizing that they need to get the stuff after the stuff, as F-Dot would say. Ice Baby not willing to give this up for completely free, trying to get the pressure on the field, Hokeman, but forced out.
Yeah, he's got to run away from that. There's no real safe chance of that. Better just take your beating and run, especially after a fight like that. You don't want to give that jungle pressure, and there's better things for Ice Baby to be doing right now. He tried to make something happen. Luckily, he backed off before it got too dangerous, and Teleport at 6 weren't really wanting to invest more resources, but that could have gone very bad very quickly.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that the mentality and the thought on comms was, I'm going to get something out of this Gold Fury. I'm going to go ahead and get Hoke, and unfortunately he didn't. He instead got fissured. So, sorry, got to laugh at my own joke there for a second. Yeah! So, forced out of there, but he did, I guess, get the passive off of Feels Hokeman, so not a total loss, able to get out of there without dying. Hoke has to play a little bit more safely as Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna, of course, goes down into a nap for a few seconds, about 10 seconds, 8 seconds, I think, actually, when he is killed.
I think it is 8 seconds, like you said here. And now that's going to put a bit of pressure on Feels Hoke. He doesn't want to get caught out in anything. It might dissuade him from risky plays, but I don't think he cares that much. Coming for a big flank, taking out Wolfie there, but Wolfie finds a quick teleport through the wall with his own portal. Up in the air goes one, but Kala is simply trying to be zoned away here. They're trying to force down Ice Baby, but he's putting in some medicine of his own. Zombie gonna be taken down incredibly low. Ice Baby trapped by the walls, still surviving though. Meditation from Kala's saving some time, but unfortunately time is all they bought here. Kala's going to be forced to dash for dear life after watching a teammate fall and teleport at 6, turning the pressure up to 11, making up for that lost time early on in the game.
Teleport at 6 has now entered this phase where they are going to be able to essentially pick the fights that they want to take. They're going to group over here, and they are going to steal away the red buff for free, grouping as 5-man, rotating around this left side of the map, and daring Loopy Landers to please aggress on us.
It's like watching a pack of piranhas that teleport at 6 right here. It was going a little bit slow early on. There wasn't really much provocation going on, but the second somebody died, the second blood hit the water, teleport at 6 have made this 5-man death ball, and they've been making it work.
Absolutely. They've been getting these smart picks, which mean that even in the best case, it's going to be a 4v5 if Loopy Landers want to take that grouping. But it's actually 2 teleported 6's advantage to group up like this as opposed to Loopy Landers. Loopy Landers kind of needs these characters to get online. They can't afford to group up and split experience and roam around. They can't afford to miss the waves, whereas the members of Teleported 6 are just hitting their stride here in the mid-game.
And Loopy Landers need to be the ones picking off targets here to start these fights. They want to start these fights at an advantageous position here. They want to get Ice Baby onto a right target here. They want to just rip one of the big guys down as fast as they can here. Teleport at 6, see, the best option to not let them do that is just run at them as a massive death ball. Who do you go after if, well, we're not giving you any good options?
and that is a death ball that consists of 2 Guardians and a Warrior. The Warrior, of course, having a little bit of defense with that Ankale and the Steel Mail being started up over here. You know, just going to be able to outlast a little bit of damage along with the Guardian base stats. I mean, it's a bad ball to be facing.
And right now, they're just bowling for more kills here, but it's going to be a bit of a slow wait until that happens, I'd say. It's a vision game starting to pick up across the board here. We see a lot of control for Loopy Landers. Teleport at 6, holding most of the Gold Fury pit and their side's entrance, but Loopy Landers holding theirs as well, and most of their side of jungle here. So Teleport at 6, not going to find their way into the jungle of Loopy Landers just yet.
I wonder what is Kalas doing over here? He's kind of pressed against the wall, waiting for a rotation out of his mid laner to clear up the wave. He was trying to soak experience through the wall there, able to get some, but was spotted out by Feels Hokeman and forced to kind of move back down to the bottom side of the map. Neither team really wanting to engage right now.
It was a good position too here, as we did see Teleport at 6 pull off a flank through that side as well. Covers the side that his team doesn't have covered with the ward, and he'll know if Teleport at 6 try to approach the Gold Tree pit, as his team have his backside covered with the ward as well. So it was a safe place to soak up some XP and a nice place to keep an eye out for any kind of sneaky tricks that Teleport at 6 might try to pull off.
Very true, and you gotta worry whenever you see this kind of a double Guardian Mage grouping for the mid aggression. What kind of sneaky tricks can be had? Cabrakan has Blink. He can be in your face in a second.
Especially over those walls we once to here, and now we'll see Loopy Landers just start to lose bits and pieces of their tower here. Teleport 6 looking to start chunking it down. They got about half the health off of it in these first few pushes they pulled off here, and now Loopy Landers in a serious threat of actually losing that mid lane pressure right now.
We do see the Gold Fury is back up and going. 5-man grouping from both teams over here on the left side of the map. Neither team wanting to give an inch for the other to take advantage of. Portal going to be good to drop new philosophy, but nothing's going to come out of it.
Saved the ward at least there, so that was a nice save there for Loopy Landers here. And now, both sides, knowing how important this next Gold Fury will be, are just trying to find any little advantage they can going into this fight here. Trying to find somebody up position here, trying to get that superior vision, trying to bait out some major bonus to that portal possibly here. And if this fight goes the way of Teleport at 6, it all but secures the game for them.
Absolutely.
Whereas if Loopy Landers win it, they're on hold, they're even, and Teleport at 6 have to worry here. It's now Getfisher caught out by a wall combo. Not going to lead to anything just yet, but putting a little fear of God into them.
teammates were not in a position that they could follow up very easily. Deathwalker's got to be a little bit disappointed there. He was able to throw up the wall, get the Cabrakan into a bad position. We do see Wolfie and Vote BK go ahead and back, so it's 3v5 over here as we see Josh XY1 is going to go ahead and toy with the Gold Fury, start and stop it. Free wall comes out, but not a freeze. Deathwalker going to get caught with the seismic rift. Tectonic rift. Gift Fisher gets melted, but Josh XY is going to go ahead and use the Jungle Fury to pick up a return kill onto Deathwalker. 1-for-1 trade so far.
Gift Fisher put down a massive ultimate in that team fight. They're completely locking out Deathwalker's escape, blocking off the Janus and Vote in BK trying to come from the backside. But unfortunately, Teleport at 6 going to back off at one of the most key moments here, and they're going to lose gold because of it here. So now Loopy Landers going to be in a happy position here. They're holding on to this game, and now they're almost back to the dead even points.
Dead even point indeed. Here we are at 19 minutes. If you're on Teleport at 6, you just saw them get back into the game. You just saw the Loopy Landers get let back into the game by losing the Ward War over here at the Gold Fury. You notice that what once was a field of red wards is now a field of blue wards, except for the non-key positions right there at the mid lane entrance. And when they backed, they had no idea that this was going to get aggressed on. New Philosophy had teleport available, could have gotten back if they'd known that the Gold Fury was up. Just no vision left.
There is one good bright angle in the fact that Teleport at 6 did secure the mid lane tower in that fight, but at the same time, it's going to be kind of made up for by Loopy Landers here picking up that Gold Fury. However, they do have that little bit of extra mid pressure and security here that Loopy Landers won't have and Teleport at 6 do. However, like I said, Loopy Landers making up for that with that sea of blue wards on the left side here, but now Nemesis caught out here. Ice Baby might get collapsed on, double dash away to safety, but stunned out, now getting absolutely thrashed. Huge ult from Get Fisher going to put down the rift and finish him off with a supernova there. Cabrakan picks up the kill. Deathwalker taking a bit of aggression, but he's got a nice wall to lock everyone down here from pursuing. As the rest of his team looking to come in from the backside possibly here. Kala's now in the wrong neighborhood, tries to dash away, gets to the edge of the grounded pound, makes his way out safety thanks to a nice wardle from Wolfie, buying time and an escape route.
That was a very well done rotation from Deathwalker. He recognized that Ice Baby was going to fall there, and instead of trying to feed in and essentially set up a second kill for Teleport at 6, he fell back. We do see 4 people grouping over here, 3 people grouping over here, now 4. New Philosophy going to get walled off underneath this tower, but the boys at Teleport at 6 don't care. They're going to keep putting pressure onto this tier 1 tower. This tier 1 tower should fall in just a second, and there it goes. Teleport at 6 taking 2 tier 1 towers in the matter of about 3 minutes here.
And I gotta applaud Teleport at 6 actually playing on the strengths of the team comp here. They have a solid bit of tower pressure here. They can always be threatening, and Loopy Landers are going to have to be the ones playing on a bit of a back foot here. One thing I do want to see more of is they're getting more ward control. They had it in that last fight on the right-hand side, but I want to see them get more ward control around these towers here. If they get flanked by Loopy Landers while they're trying to seed, it's going to be an easy fight for Loopy Landers to tear through.
I'm also noticing the Loopy Landers, just to kind of counter your point, they were playing so safely, and as a group, they're at the about 10-minute mark, and it seems like since then they've gotten a little bit overconfident, and they've kind of fractured apart a little bit more, and they are getting punished for it by Teleport at 6. They're able to make the solid rotations and take fights with a larger grouping than the opponent can field.
And that's something that Loopy Landers have to start looking out for a bit more. Maybe start trying to counter these aggressive plays and look for these flanks here, but as it stands, I don't really see where they're going to want to make these plays happen here. But in all honesty, where do you want to see them go from here if they want to start holding on to this game a bit better and not just hold on, walk away with some kind of lead?
So I think that the big key is going to have to be the next Gold Fury. They're going to have to take that fight very intelligently, just like they just did. Loopy Landers had a wonderful play. They lost a 1-for-1, recognized the disengage, and were able to capitalize on it. They just need to pay more attention to these objective moments and stop getting kind of out-rotated and out-thought by Teleport at 6. Teleport at 6, on the other hand, needs to pay attention to what weaknesses they're exposing. They've got the advantage right now. They just need to make sure that they're very careful about not giving their opponent an inch that they can turn into a mile.
And they've really got to watch out to make sure there are no flanks available for Loopy Landers during these sieges here. So far, they've been fine here, taking great moments, good rotations here, so they haven't really caught up position here. But as we get later into the game and start seeing the Janus ultis really decide these quick rotations, it's going to be a lot harder to pull off, especially as we near that final line of towers here. There's still one more standing on the tier 1 side of the map on the left side for Loopy Landers, but that one could fall at a moment's notice as we near the next Gold Fury.
Through Space and Time is going to start dealing a lot of damage. You notice that Janus has built not only Warlock Sash, which is fully stacked, but also a Book of Thoth, which is about 2/3 of the way there. Janus is going to be dealing out a lot of damage. As soon as he gets a route of Tahuti after his pen item online, he's going to be a threat to be reckoned with. Unstable Vortex is going to do enough damage to where the Guardians and Warrior that Teleported 6 have aren't really going to be the big frontline threat that they are currently.
Especially with how on top of these portals we've seen Wolfie be. He sets up a lot of good escape routes. He's also set up some very, very solid aggressive moments here. When you're grouped around the Gold Fury, you really don't want to get caught out by these unstable vortexes. Even a single hit, not even a double tap, might put you out of commission for the important fight here, or give Loopy Landers the opportunity they want to get into this fight here. And since Teleport 6 don't quite have that sustain, it's going to hurt a lot more permanently.
Speaking of that Gold Fury, it has respawned here at the 24-minute mark. We do see that Teleported 6 was there to get the timer. They know that it's up, and Loopy Landers, who took it last time, obviously already have the timer. They know that this is available, and this is an objective that both teams want to fight for. You see the grouping already coming out. Kala's going to get stunned or mezzed out of his Talu Assault. Going to get slowed, but he's going to dash away. Good use of the mechanics of the Guan Yu there.
But now Teleporter 6 have a superior position here until New Philosophy does get caught out there. The rest of the team isn't quite in a position to respond here, but a quick bounce onto New Philosophy will lock him down over the top of the dive bomb. Will get Voden BK out of this fight for some time, but that's a massive AoE setup here. But now the turnaround is coming through. Get Fisher set incredibly low, a huge wall locking in Feels Heroic and Get Fisher, but the fight raining in from Voden BK. He's virtually untouched right now and ready to rain death from above. There onto Voden BK, as New Philosophy is the one to fall to hit. One more shot from Wolfie does take Feels Heroic down in that passage. Fight goes the way of Loopy Landers. Their carry virtually untouched until near the middle of that fight, and it paid in blood for them as they're able to find that opportunity and deliver Voden BK to safe shots and win it.
It was a 3-1 trade there, and it's looking like it's going to be turned into a 4-1. No, we can't ever underestimate the disapparate from the soul. As a blink freeze coming out from Deathwalker, very good sanctuary coming out from Zako Bannon. Going to go ahead and save his life for now, but disapparate not going to be enough. Voden BK is credited with that kill, and they're looking at that tier 1 tower, going to get that return mid-tower kill finally here at the 26-minute mark. It is now 3 members down still. Feels Hokeman, of course, did fall as well. Josh XY, for a second, was the only member of his team left standing.
And I like this call right here to go for that extra tower pressure here. They can get that tier 2 in mid. Even if they don't kill it, they've set up a lot of pressure here. They've put a bit of a timer on the heads of Teleported 6 here. And they've established a solid control of the mid lane, gained back a lot of ground they lost in that previous push, and I'll just set up a nice future push after any fight here. And they got a decent bit of gold there, so I definitely can understand not going to Gold Fury, especially since you've got 2 solid members who can solo it away, as the rest of Teleported 6 is going to get pulled to the opposite side of the map.
And we do see them do exactly that. They are starting it, and the Gold Fury is going to fall for free from Loopy Landers. And that is a blue ward that was on the Gold Fury, by the way, not a red one. So the members of Teleported 6 don't even know that it's available unless they're watching the gold count up in the corner of the screen like we are.
Yeah, they probably will notice something here, and they're probably going to go check it any second now. I'd imagine they've got a good idea of what just happened there, especially with the purpose Josh XY is going to move with. He's just going to go and take out this camp here. They've got a good idea what's happened there, and especially now that Hoek has checked it out, got things reset. They'll know when it respawns, so they're going to notice that loss right there.
And after that team fight, we did see Loopy Landers take the gold lead, and it was a pure gold lead down 2 towers at the time. Getting another Gold Fury and then a return, or the mid tower and then the return on the Gold Fury, was actually just bonus in these books. Remember that the tier 1 towers are worth 500 gold apiece. That's total gold, 100 gold per member of your team, and I like calling that, static gold. That's going to be gold that is going to be gained no matter what. Eagles Rally pushed out over here as 3 members of Loopy Landers are going to collapse on New Philosophy.
And they're going to get flanked. Yeah, they're in some major trouble here. It looks like Teleport at 6 are just going to take the wrong bait here. As now Loopy Landers are just going straight for the Fire Giant here as the rest of Loopy Landers buying time, drawing Teleport at 6 away, and the feint got bought right there. Loopy Landers get a free Fire Giant, and now they're looking to start a huge fight following the portal through space and time. A big bounce locking down Field Zoic. He's on the run right into a wall as the ultimate being channeled by Deathwalker. Unfortunately, nobody's getting tagged. They forced the run away there. A great wall from Get Fisher, buying enough time for Field Zoic, but he should get away there. And now Loopy Landers not quite finding the kill, but they'll be able to easily finish off this tier 2 tower. And now they've got nearly complete control of the map after this fight, and they've got a Fire Giant. It's going to be dire for Teleport at 6 here.
Ice Ice Baby got distracted a little bit by Get Fisher down at the top of the mid lane. Get Fisher was trying to back in the jungle but was unable to, and now he's getting surrounded by 3 members. Space has run out, buddy. I'm sorry, Get Fisher, but you are going to be the one who is fished here as 4 members are looking to find you. You already used your blink. Abilities are starting to go down, and Wolfie is credited with taking down Get Fisher.
Yeah, absolute destruction for them right there. Is now the next tier 1 tower here, and just looking to keep up the pressure game. Now they've gained it, they don't want to give back any chance to Teleport at 6. They know how quickly things went awry for them the last time they gave any kind of chance here, and now this is exactly what they need to be doing. They're going to be controlling each side of the map here, especially if Yi can grab that last tier 2 tower. And
I love this call here. I love this call here. 4 members of Loopy Landers rotating over to the left-hand side, leaving the Hunter to solo push and get the other tier 2. No towers remain for Teleport at 6. Teleport at 6 looking very strong at about the 12-minute mark. Here, just about 18 minutes later, now on the back foot, forced to defend 3 Phoenixes.
It was all thanks to a really good series of calls from Loopy Landers here. Now, they might pair for a bit of overaggression here up in the air. We will see a toss of as Deathwalker takes a ton of damage, but he's still standing strong. Fire Giant regen, gonna get him back into the action very quickly. Anderson to College just raining out the heals there. Deathwalker went from less than a quarter health to back above half in the span of a few seconds right there, and he'll be back to full before they even know it.
We do see a full retreat coming out from the members of Loopy Landers. They learned the lesson from Teleport at 6. Do not give them anything. Do not let them have the chance to get a pick. We've already got all 5 members with the Fire Giant buff. We have 3 of our 5 ultimates available. Don't let them get a pick here. We can go ahead and come back and take this out.
And that's exactly what they're aiming to do right now. They've still got a little bit left on that Fire Giant here, and they want to use it to the best of their abilities, but I don't think they're going to get another Phoenix off of this one unless somebody makes a major mistake. But this will enable them to set up quite safely for the next big moment as they start moving towards these last 2 Phoenixes standing. As no, the first Phoenix of the game has already fallen, and not to who we thought it would. Loopy Landers was the one to take it.
Loopy Landers is doing a great job of keeping the aggression up, and now Fire Minions are going to be pouring down the mid lane. Mid Phoenix isn't the ideal Phoenix that you want to take down first. You really want to take the duo lanes Phoenix, on the side of the map, the left-hand Phoenix, because it forces the enemy team to respond to Fire Giant aggression and Fire Minions on opposite sides of the map. However, the mid Phoenix is still going to be a thorn in the side. The mid Phoenix being down is still going to be a thorn in the side of Teleport at 6, because they're going to have to focus their aggression in the middle lane to make sure that those don't start doing damage to the Titan.
Not just that, they've also got easy access to almost every side of the map they want right now, especially as Deathwalker goes in. They don't just want access, they want to go straight for the base here. Get Fisher locked into a massive deathball right there, but it's Deathwalker. He's the one in the wrong place the wrong time. Ice Baby needs to make a full retreat there. The Phoenix has fallen, and well, it looks like Loopy Landers just going to walk away from this one after getting exactly what they wanted. They may have lost one, but doesn't matter. They got a Phoenix.
They got that second Phoenix, and I think that you're exactly right. That's what they wanted. They're going to do the full disengage. It's unfortunate that Deathwalker had to fall, but I think that in the grand scheme, having 2 Phoenixes down, totally worth it. Especially now that the Gold Fury, which is respawned, is going to also fall in favor of them. Good position to be in if you're Loopy Landers.
A good call there. Get the Phoenix, get out, get the Gold Fury, take everything that Teleport at 6 could use to get back at you, and then completely disperse. Especially with Fire Giant coming up in the next minute or 2. It's going to set them up for a really solid position here going into this next fight, and what honestly could be the final fight of the game.
Fire Giant's going to be respawning in about 30 seconds, and it's hard to tell with the spectator, obviously, but I can't tell if there are any wards whatsoever on there. And if there aren't any wards, or if no members of Teleported 6 have walked over there, then they don't know what the timer is. They don't know that it's coming up in 13 seconds.
Yeah, Teleport 6 have zero vision here, and now Loopy Landers have a very good sentry ward right in the middle of the pit here. They've got a ward controlling one of the side entrances as well, and they've got a ward controlling the other side as well. It's going to be tough for Teleport 6 to find a way in there, and even if they want to go for the fight now, Loopy Landers have an easy access flank for them here. Odin BK, though, going to get caught out quite nicely there. Unfortunately, it's all a trap, turned around completely. A huge burst of damage from Wolfie, completely obliterating them with the through space and time. We're going to see a few knockers from Fields Hoek, but Kala's the only one caught out here. He's still reigning in death as the rest of his team dealing tons of damage, and that's all they needed. That's going to be game over. Voting BK may be down, but Wolfie, Deathwalker, and Kala is still standing. Ice, baby. Going to be able to block out Hoek if he wants to go for the fight here. This could be the end of the road for Teleport at 6.
And it was a game that was looking to be Teleport at 6's favor the entire time. We are seeing the Titan fall, 1,800, 700, 500, and they do fall. Teleport at 6, unfortunately, is going to be knocked out of the tournament. This, the final week of open bracket play. Loopy Landers going to move on deeper into this tournament.
And not just that, Teleport at 6 are now knocked out of contention for the top 8 spot now. Unfortunate to be so close and to fall away at the last second, but it was going to happen with one of these teams this game, and Loopy Landers will be the ones walking on to the next round, unless they move out here.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us on this round 1 game. We will be back with round 2 in just a few minutes. You are watching the European Challenger Cup Week 4, brought to you by Tier Monster, sponsored by Discord, Owlhead Studio, and hi-rez Studios. Thank you so much for watching. I am a Pip. This is Souza. We'll be back with more Challenger Cup play very, very, very soon.